Hi, I'm Pat Baer, and this is Pat Baer's Anime Club. It's my ongoing video series where I take a look at something from the world of anime that I want to chat with you about. Sometimes I do talk about manga or light novels or visual novels, but often it's a deep dive into a subgenre or a particular show. In this case, it's a recommendation episode, and I'm going to be talking to you about 4 obscure anime recommendations. Now, to explain what I mean by obscure, because I assume you understand 4 and anime recommendations, but obscure, how do I figure out what is obscure? Well, I am taking a page out of the book of ProZD. I will link his video in the show description, but he recently put up a video where he talked about obscure anime. His method, which I have also used, was to go to my anime list, which is a website I use. I used AnyChart, which is compiled with that, a sister site. But yeah, my anime list, great for looking at information about anime. And there are millions of members on that site, the world round, who often will say, I've watched this show. And they go back into shows from the past and say, some people use it for their own self to be like, okay, what shows did I watch this season? And some people use it for somewhat like loose research, like ProZD did, and I'm doing. He gave a list of 10 anime recommendations from things he's seen with like 20,000 members have said they've seen it or less. And again, out of millions of members, not everyone clicks on those things, but a lot do. So these are pretty obscure. I went a step further. I was like, could I do like 2,000? Could I do 1,000? I ended up settling on 2,000. So all 4 of these videos, less than 2,000 people have said, I've watched that out of millions on my anime list. So we're going to go through the 4 there. This was hard. This was a lot of like, have I seen, and then occasionally something would stand out and go, wait, I've seen that. So things popped up. I guess I could have gone farther. When I got into like the 500s and 400s, I was like, these are just... A lot of them are just like OVAs, that one-off OVAs, or TV specials that only aired in Japan that never were anywhere else, or like PVs, like the like little trailers, something like that, because they get their own pages. So those things maybe not obscure, but people don't bother saying, "Oh yeah, I've watched that." Let's get into it. Enough talking now or about that. Now we actually need to get into the actual recommendations. And the first one is a movie. It is Dr. Slump and Arl-chan's Ncha, Clear Skies Over Penguin Village. This is the 6th Dr. Slump movie. It is from 1993, and on my anime list, 1,922 members have said they've seen it. Not that they like it or love it or hate it, just that they are aware that they have watched it. There is, I believe, a international like DVD of the first 5 movies, like a region free, and so a lot of people have said, "I've seen those." This is the 6th movie. Less people have seen this. I saw it because I went on a real Dr. Slump kick a bunch of years ago, and so I ended up tracking this down because I wanted to watch a bunch of the movies. This one is very cute, and it stood out to me. I was like, okay, do I remember the 6th movie? And I looked at the plot and went, I do remember the 6th movie. I like the 6th movie a lot. The story of this one is that a little monster goes to the island, or the Penguin Village, and starts making some trouble, gets beat up, and then calls for its parent to come. And its parent is a giant monster. And the movie itself is kind of like what if a cool, strong, magical girl, robot girl fought a kaiju? It is somewhat of a kaiju send-up or a parody. It's very fun. I would recommend tracking this one down. I think all the Dr. Slump movies are fun, and you don't really need to know the anime. If you're just like, well, I've watched a lot of Akira Toriyama stuff, but I haven't watched any Dr. Slump, like, this would be a great... any of the movies I think would be great to jump into. You don't really need to know what's going on. You might need context for this next one, and I have to explain what's going on with this when I tell you the title of this one. Transformers Beast Wars 2, the movie. Leo Convoy's Close Call. 1,699 members have said, I've seen this. This is a 1998 release, 46 minutes. It takes place towards the end of Beast Wars Season 2. Now, when I say Beast Wars 2, you're like, this is not Beast Machines, the sequel to Beast Wars. That's right. Here is some context for what we're talking about. You may be aware of Mainframe, the same people that brought you Reboot, that they did a season of Transformers. And then they did Beast Wars, and then they did Beast Wars, the Transmetals, or Beast Machines. Beast Wars was a US-Canada co-production. Japan didn't really love it. Japan's Transformers fandom were not super into Beast Wars and its CGI. So they got their own sequel series that is just a cartoon like you see here in the photo. Oops. Sorry, you saw more than that. We'll leave it at whatever. No editing on this one if I can avoid it. Anyway, this movie, Beast Wars 2, the movie, Leo Convoy's Close Call, imagines a world where the first movie didn't really fucking happen. It just did, or sorry, the first series didn't really happen. Because Beast Wars 2 is almost completely, totally different characters. Again, different art style, going more traditional in its animation. It's more silly and more fun. There are a few characters that are in there. Optimus Primal is still there, as you can see over here. Maybe you can see that. There are still some characters from the original, but it's different, and it's only in Japan. So Beast Wars 2, it makes sense to me that even people who love Beast Wars or love Transformers aren't aware of the Japanese series, which has sequel series and spin-offs. This was a 46-minute made-for-TV movie that did get a home video release. I have seen it. It is very fun. I don't think you need to watch Beast Wars 2 to enjoy it. I think if you just know what Transformers are, you'll get it. Again, it's silly, and which I enjoy. I like the seriousness of Beast Wars, which did have comedic moments, but the tone was certainly more serious. But then also, American Transformers dubs also, in many ways, took out some of the humor that was in the Japanese counterpart. So there's a lot to say about this. That I was not surprised that this only had almost 1,700 members saying, I've seen it. Wasn't surprised at all. Here's one. I looked at this for a very long time, trying to remember if this was the Ultraman cartoon that I had seen. Ultraman Graffiti. 919 members said that they have seen this OVA, 6-episode OVA that was released in 1990. So my history with this, I did figure it out. I did find some clips of this to go, is this the Ultraman parody series that I saw, knowing almost nothing about Ultraman at the time? Because I saw this in like 94, 95 at my first ever anime club, one of several anime clubs that I belonged to. But as like a teen, I went to this anime club, and one of the members was like, hey, so I imported a Japanese VHS, and I am going to have a local, and by local I mean New Jersey, because we were in Connecticut at the time, a fan subgroup in New Jersey is going to fan sub this. They're gonna do the work. But I have the original. Can I just make sure it works and we can just watch this thing? It's an Ultraman cartoon, and I heard it's funny. So I watched this for the first time with no subtitles. And there is a lot of slapstick in there, but there's also a lot of jokes that are very specific to the Ultraman franchise, and also puns. There are puns in this that I did not get, and nobody got. I mean, there was a couple people in our group at the time that had some understanding of Japanese, but not like that level of like understanding wordplay live while we were watching it for the first time. But there are jokes that do translate and work, like a Yeti who is a businessman. Like that's just you can just get that. You don't need subtitles to understand that. And some of the interplay with some of the animals and the different Ultramen and all that, like it's very fun. I have later seen an official subtitle for it. I never end up seeing that fan sub. I think it did eventually get made, but because I think they had a few people in that fan sub community or that group liked Ultraman stuff, so they were excited to have it, and that somebody had gone to the trouble of getting that VHS. I don't know if it ended up on Laserdisc at the time. It probably didn't. But yeah, this is the oldest of the things that I am recommending here. It's just silly and fun. I don't know how you would find it. Even the legal version, I don't know how you would track it down. But if you can, Ultraman Graffiti, like, I don't know, almost 1,000 people have said, yeah, I've seen this. So, let's go to our last one here, which is the most modern, a release of 2013 into 2014, and the one that is the easiest for you to watch. If you want to watch something that I'm recommending here, you could find this very easily. It's on Crunchyroll. So you could watch 2 seasons of, I should say the name, 2 seasons of World Fool News. World Fool News, which came out again in 2013, is a slice of life about working at a news studio, or a news channel, I should say. There are 9-minute episodes. There are 2 seasons available on Crunchyroll. Some of the jokes are hit and miss. There's heavy on the comedy. I really enjoy this particular show because it is trying to be Squiggle Vision, Dr. Katz, and the like. The one that's a judge show, home movies. It doesn't have the actual squiggle. They're not ripping off Squiggle Vision, but it is going for that style. And I believe that a bunch of Japanese comedians were hired to play these roles outside of the usual voice actor crew that people pull from. It's very fun. I don't get some. It is referencing some local news stuff, or local to Japan news things that I didn't quite get at the time. There is a cool Shiba Inu with right over here with thick eyebrows that is very fun, and I don't know why there's a monkey, but there is. It's a fun series. I would say you should check it out. Again, that's World Fool News. 2013 slice of life about a workplace comedy. Again, available on Crunchyroll. The easiest one. I love that 914 members have said, yeah, I saw that, for a thing you can easily see. That just goes to show this is pretty obscure. I know originally this was an ONA, original network animation, and it aired on a YouTube channel. In Asian countries, and you would have had to have a VPN to watch it, and then there was a licensing deal with Crunchyroll, which is just silly. I don't know if they inherited this from Funimation. I don't think they did. I believe this was just has always been on Crunchyroll. It feels like one of those things where like it was very inexpensive to do, or it was like part of a package to get something else that they really wanted, because again, I don't think anybody knows this exists. If this got taken off Crunchyroll, I don't know if it would have. I would be annoyed because I might watch it again someday. It's fun. Like I said, it does feel very inspired by Dr. Katz and home movies and those Squiggle Vision shows. It does have that vibe to it, and I like that. So yeah, this is kind of a short video here. The amount of time this video elapsed with me making recommendations does not equate to the amount of time it took for me while other things were going on my second monitor, just looking through and going, no, I haven't seen, you know what? Nope, I haven't seen that movie. It's like, no, I've seen like 2 Doraemon movies, but apparently they're ones everyone has seen, and there are like 40 Doraemon movies, or like, no, I haven't seen this Detective Conan special. I can't count that. I don't want to lie to anybody. Okay, let me go check this thing out. Okay. Ooh, this thing I think I've seen. Nope, I haven't seen it. I saw the anime. I haven't seen this one OVA that counts as separately from the anime, so that doesn't count. But those were 4 obscure anime recommendations. Dr. Slump and Earl Chan. Uncha, Clear Skies Over Penguin Village, the 6th Dr. Slump movie. Transformers Beast Wars 2, the movie. Leo Convoy's Close Call, Ultraman Graffiti, and World Fool News. If you've seen any of these, please let me know in the comments below. If you've watched any of them because of my recommendation, please let me know what you thought of them. If there's anything that you would like to see me do in a future episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club, I would love to hear from you. My next video will be the winter wrap up, I should say, and the spring preview, which I will be doing. It will be a live stream, and then on a Tuesday, and then the following Monday it'll go up for everybody to see. So that's coming up at some point. So check that out when that gets uploaded. That'll be hopefully not much more than 2 hours, but definitely 2 hours of talking about anime. I don't have a lot to say about the winter season, but there's a bunch of stuff in the spring season I'm excited about. But yeah, if you have ideas for future videos, I can give you let's see, can I give you a tease of some future videos after that? I still have to do weirdest and worst plot reveals in anime. I am waiting for this a show that's out right now to finish its season, to make its big reveal so that I can talk about it. I'm going to do another weird manga, some weird manga recommendations. And yeah, as I said, there's a link to Sungwon or ProZD's video in the comments below. Or sorry, in the show description. No, maybe I'll do a pinned comment. Probably show description is the best place to find that. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have ideas for future videos, let me know. Again, I'll say that one more time. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.